So when you have a special guest as the caliber of Jarius Wright, he gets his own intro.
And Wilson going deep right is wide open. Touchdown, Arkansas. Wilson going up top for Wright. Was it caught? Juggled and caught at the 40.
Pass deep over the middle. Got him there. Caught by Wright. Touchdown, Arkansas.
This is Jarius Wright, and you listen to the Morning Rush.
Jarius, appreciate you joining us this morning, man. I know we got plenty of football to discuss, but important question. Have you finished your Christmas shopping yet?
You know what I have? I might have one or two things I need to just pick up for the wife, but for the most part, all the kids are taken care of, and I've got most of her stuff.
Now, did you buy for the kids, or did she buy for the kids?
She buys for the kids, but it's the thought that counts.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm right there with you, brother.
Man.
I'm right there with you.
Now, Jarius, you mentioned the kids, not just your own. Do your players get gifts from you? Or you just got to count for your own kin?
I just account for my own kids in this aspect.
Yeah, probably
but,
it can get costly.
Yeah, I was going to say 60s.
Exactly. When you coaching a lot of kids, you can't get one kid anything without getting the other kids. So it's best to just not get anybody anything.
Yeah, we'll just do a few less 400-meter relays here around in the off season. We'll give them a set off in the off season. Merry Christmas.
Love is what I have to give.
There you go.
Exactly. Jarius, Clay Henry's with us, and one of the things Clay's always talked about with you is you were one of the big leaders on the football team. People looked up to you, and I know it's kind of ever-changing with the transfer portal. I wonder from your vantage point and perspective as a guy that spent 4 years here in Fayetteville, what does that look like in changing leaderships each and every year with so many new players, and how does that dynamic work within a locker room?
You know, that is very tough. Like you say, the way the transfer portal works, and you have leaders, and those leaders could just up and leave, that next year, and then, you replace them with new leaders. So, I think that was very important back then, or when I played, that, I was there for all 4 years. A lot of people got a chance to really know me and believe in not what I was coaching, but what I was saying to them. And now, you don't have that because, like you say, a new guy come in, a year from now, and he's the new leader. But, we don't really know this guy. We just know that he's one of the best players on the team. That's usually, I feel like it's harder to pick leaders now, if that makes sense.
Jarius, I'm sure you're like the rest of us. You have an opinion of your own about what changes need to be made with the portal or NIL or combined to sustain the sport. Depending on your age, you probably think this is going to ruin the game. What's your opinion of what needs to happen moving forward so that you don't see mass exodus before the bowl games? Or what in your mind makes this new system sustainable long term?
To be honest, I don't know how long we will be able to sustain this system. I think that we should have put caps on it earlier or when it first started. That way, because you can always move up. The thing you can't do is you can't go back on what you're doing. So I think the lack of caps, kids getting just unlimited money, programs not being able to keep up because they're not being able to have the same funds as everybody. I think that everybody should have had the same funds, so it's not based on funds anymore. So if me and you, just say if I'm Alabama and you Georgia, we're getting the same funds. The kids are allowed to get the same funds. So basically, it's not based off money. You're not committing to me because I paid you the most money. You're committing to me because you actually want to be here. Those are just some of my thoughts and some of my ideas about it. That might have would have helped the situation out.
Jarius Wright with us here on the Morning Rush. We're live at Jelco Outdoors. Jarius, you took a pretty significant jump from your freshman to sophomore year, as did that football team. One of the things that you and I discussed this week, it was just how pivotal that win in Memphis was against Eastern Carolina. For Taylon Green, what kind of expectations do you expect him to move up on from year one to year two under Coach Petrino?
I think we'll see a huge difference in Taylon. Also, I think we got some huge pickups as far as offensive line in the portal. So I think those will also help. But I think just the mental aspect of learning Petrino's offense and learning, what to look for, when to look for it, and just to continue to learn defenses. I think there's just that step, and there's still one game left, and he'll learn from that too. So I think just the learning and going back and kind of watching the film, see what he could do better, understanding what he can do better, will definitely help him leading until next year.
Have you ever been colder than that night in Memphis, Tennessee, after the 2009 season? Everyone talks that it was there. It was the coldest they've ever been to. You ever been to a colder game? I know you played up in Minnesota and some other spots.
So I will say in Minnesota, I've definitely played in a lot colder games, but I will say that was the first coldest game I've ever played in, and it was miserable that night. I know it didn't seem like that on the field, and we went into OTs. I feel like the game lasted forever.
Jarius Wright with us, Morning Rush, live at Jelco. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola. Apply for a career today with APAC Arcola at jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. Jerry's been coaching high school football. Catch the audience up on what's been going on with you. And you mentioned your family a little bit ago, but kind of give the audience an update on what you're doing and helping kids every day with their high school development or football development in high school.
Yeah, so I'm coaching at Sylvan Hills currently right now. This is my third year. I'm currently in my third year. Of course, I started at Whitehall with Ryan. Did a year there, moved to Sylvan Hills. This will be my second, after this year is done, this will be my second year here. So, I've just been doing my part of trying to give back to Arkansas and trying to show kids and help kids get to at least halfway to where I've been, just playing in college.
Yeah. What are the challenges in the high school? We talk about the challenges in the college game with NIL and portal. What are the challenges coaches and programs are facing today at the high school level that maybe weren't there when you played, or certainly you go back a decade or two?
So in high school now, it's basically the portal. Kids have school of choice, so if they decide they don't want to play for you anymore, they can up and, of course, not move the next day, but, at semester they can transfer schools and play at the next school wherever they want to. So it's kind of a small sample size of the portal going on in high school now.
Jarius, you mentioned being in high school, Coach. Do you have aspirations of going to the next level, coaching college ball, maybe even NFL, or you kind of think you're suited for high school ball?
So what I really want to do is just I really just want to be a high school head coach. I think that, honestly, I've given my time to the college and I've given my time to the NFL level already. Now I just want to help, kind of what I said earlier, help high school kids develop and help them reach their full potential, because I know, without a good coach in my life when I was in high school, I would have never reached mine.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a single high school kid, Tommy, that wouldn't want to be coached by Jarius Wright if he plays the wide receiver position.
Jarius, Clay Henry, someone I know you've spoken with many times, is with us. And Clay, I heard him mention earlier about his year with Ryan Mallett. I know that that got you to thinking.
Yeah, when Jarius, I talked to Ryan right after that first year, but just what did you see with Ryan as a head coach? We all knew Ryan is, maybe a different point in his life, but what did you see in that year with Ryan that made you proud of him?
Well, number one, you just I would never expect to see Ryan in Whitehall, Arkansas. Number one, so that was the first kind of shocker to me, and the demographic down there, of course. So just for him, from him going from Mountain Home to Whitehall was just a big culture change and culture shift. But to see the way he handled it, the way he embraced it, the way he loved that community, the way he loved the kids down there, it just, words couldn't even explain how happy he was to be there, to be doing what he was, to be giving back. That's how I could put it, the best way I could put it. He was happy to be there giving back, and he felt like that's exactly where he was supposed to be and exactly what he was supposed to do. And he actually was the one that got me into coaching. That's how I ended up at Whitehall with him. So I feel like I'm currently doing what I'm supposed to be doing too.
Let me take you back to that Texas A&M game, and I'm not looking at the stats, but it seemed like it was like 12 catches for 180 yards. I don't know. You might remember the numbers, but what I remember is the middle of the field being open, and I don't know what Coach Petrino did to get you in that spot, but it just seemed like that y'all just wore out the middle of that field.
Well, we did. It was something that Texas A&M, or we noticed in film that Texas A&M just didn't cover that part of the field, and eventually you would expect them to make some adjustments or do something. Maybe they thought they were up 17, so they didn't need to make adjustments. But we realized they weren't covering that area, so Petrino would just call the plays to get us to that area. Me and Tyler would figure it out from there.
Jarius, go ahead, Clay. If you got something else.
I'm good. You take your time. Thank you, Jarius.
Yeah, Jarius, we really appreciate you joining us this morning. Talk about some old memories like that game in Arlington and Jerry World, and then also talking a few other things, especially in the coach. And best of luck for Sylvan Hills this upcoming season, and appreciate you joining us this morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas as well.
Hey, I definitely appreciate y'all having me, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to y'all.
Oh, wouldn't we love to have Jarius Wright out there for this bowl game? I think he could step right into that wide receiver role and be on that depth
Jarius,
chart.
you think he could make the depth chart with all these freshmen that they're playing?
You know what? You give me a quarter or two, I could probably do it. Or just let me know when you want to throw me the ball. I could do that.
I love it.
Just throw me the ball.
I love it.
Every play.
Yeah.
All right, Merry Christmas.
All right, y'all take it easy.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.